I first learned about Questbridge through a friend at a program that I do called ACE, the Architecture, Construction, and Engineering Mentorship Program. And he had told me about it my junior year during the second semester. And I saved it as a tab on Safari or Chrome on my phone and just really never looked at it until the summer going into my senior year, where I was like, okay, let me take a look at what Questbridge is about and see if I can apply. I started by asking my teachers for recommendations at the end of junior year. I think that's honestly the first step, because you really want those recommendations at least considered in the minds of the teacher fairly early. That gives them a lot of time to really think about what they'll write, how they'll write it. And yeah, just having conversations with teachers about your goals, your aspirations, and how you want to move forward with that, I think is important, so that they also capture your essence just outside of like academics. And then going into my junior/senior year summer, I just started by researching, the schools and taking the Common App essay, writing my first essay draft. I never used that first essay. I ended up writing like 3 more, and then just choosing one. I started my application with that, then moved on. Then I started understanding financial aid. Waiting until you get into your senior year to do a financial aid is a headache. Just having those conversations with your parents about, hey, I need these tax forms, I need this, I need that, and making sure you have everything. And also understanding that there's more financial aid than just FAFSA. There's also something called the CSS profile. And if you're applying to a school that needs it, that application, not to scare anybody, is way worse than FAFSA. But if you have everything, it can get done. When I first wrote the first draft of my essay, I didn't like it because the feedback that I got from it just wasn't capturing what I wanted to capture. I still felt like there was things missing, and so I ended up scrapping that whole essay concept and drafting a new one. When I did that at a time when I was ready to, I crafted an essay that stood out in my application. Just allowing myself the patience through the process and the time. If you give yourself enough time to figure things out and to teach yourself, because that's really what the college application process is about, to just be reflective and to see your growth throughout the 4 years that you've, blossomed into this person who's becoming a young adult. The one mindset that I carry with me everywhere is just be prepared. I talked to a lot of people because I knew that along with being prepared was also getting a lot of experiences from other people. I think that's also really important, because sometimes the process can feel a bit lonely and a bit boring, honestly, if you don't talk to other people about it, because it's easier to do something when you relate to it and when you're able to relate to it with other people. I have mentors. Like, if you've networked and you have, a family, a friend, somebody, an older cousin who went through the process, try to talk to them, try to ask questions. No question is a dumb question. Tackle the fear head on, because it can be really easy to get stuck in procrastination because you're just fearful of this large process. The more that you make it relatable, the more that you make it easy and fun, will guide the process, and that helped me guide the process. If I could relive it, I want to relive that reaction, because honestly, it was very nonchalant. I looked at it, I opened it, and I said, oh my gosh, I got into Dartmouth. But then the aftershock, once I sat back down in Cahill, and I was honestly, that day I had a smile on my face the entire day. The college application process is not about focusing on your odds compared to everybody else. It's about focusing on you and how you can sell yourself to the college that deserves you. I think a lot of people can get caught up in statistics and whether you're good at this or whether you're good at that. Let me be honest, my SAT score was not the best in the school. My SAT score, I was in the 83rd percentile, which is not that good. That's a 12. I got a 1250. Overall, I didn't focus on the statistics. I didn't focus on Ivy Leagues having between a 3 and 6% acceptance rate. I didn't focus on that. I just focused on doing the best work that I can. I focused on the genuineness of me and my application rather than, others or competition. I poured my heart and soul into those essays. like literally blood, sweat, and tears. Those essays were genuinely me. I strayed from using any type of AI, so they're all basically edited by me. I didn't write all of them in time to have them like revised by somebody professional, so a lot of them were just me going off of sleep deprivation and just like, okay, is this essay perfect? What can I change? I mean, the main ones I got, like Dartmouth, UPenn, Cornell, those 3 IVs, I got a lot of them reviewed by college prep. You should do it in your senior year. It really helps. I think the essays is really what shows your personality the strongest on your application. It's what colleges look for to gain your personality. So I guess it's the most genuine, authentic part. Because honestly, extracurricular wise, it's good that you've done them, but you don't get too much to explain them other than in the additional section. But by the time you're done with answering those questions and doing the supplementals, you don't want to put anything in the additional section. Dartmouth was my 3rd choice. Yeah, UPenn was my 1st choice. Cornell was my 2nd choice. And honestly, I was basing it off of like ranking of business school because my goal was to go to the best. I can't wait. And travel abroad is really big for me, and Dartmouth offers the most travel abroad options out of all the IVs. So it's just the universe aligned all of my goals. Put your all into the application and don't worry about the competition. Just worry about getting all of your extracurriculars, everything that you can fit into the application, fit it into the application. Every school is going to ask you for supplementals. That's a non-negotiable. So knowing what those supplementals are beforehand is really important. Having an understanding of what you want to do, researching. But for Questbridge, be happy with the process, be patient, and celebrate your accomplishments. Even if you don't make it to the national college match or as a Questbridge finalist or whatever level that you are on, just celebrate the accomplishment and your ability to push through a really tough process. Believe in yourself. Your work is you and you are your work. Hit me up. I'm always willing to give more advice. Yes, just add my Instagram tag in there right now.